In order to succeed in reducing youth substance use and improve health, safety, and quality of life, the partnership relies on survey data that is collected every 2 years from a sample of middle and high school students around attitudes and behaviors. This allows us to monitor trends and emerging issues around substance use and other risky behaviors, as well as protective factors in youth assets, and plan the activities and programs that are most beneficial.
Reducing the rates of past 30-day use of a substance is one of the most important indicators of meeting prevention goals. Here we see that there are significant decreases in alcohol and cigarette use among Stratford teens. Since 1998, reported alcohol use has decreased 48% and cigarette use 86%. Since we began collecting 30-day use of marijuana in 2011, reported rates have also decreased from 16% to 14%.
When we compare Stratford rates to teens in Connecticut and around the country, we see that reported cigarette use rates among Stratford High School students are lower, marijuana use rates are the same, and alcohol use rates are slightly higher.
The partnership pays close attention to reported binge drinking rates. Binge drinking, defined on the survey as having 5 or more drinks in a row, is a dangerous and high-risk behavior that impairs judgment and opens the door for serious consequences such as sexual assault or alcohol poisoning. We are encouraged that binge drinking rates are also decreasing.
More good news. In 2018, reported rates around driving after drinking, riding with a driver who had been drinking, gambling, having sexual intercourse, skipping school, and hitting someone all decreased.
The partnership is concerned about the increasing reports of depression, also a trend in Connecticut and the United States. Mental health issues are often intertwined with substance abuse disorders. Students who reported feeling sad or depressed have increased 35% since 1998 and had significantly higher substance use rates for alcohol, marijuana, cigarettes, and prescription drugs.
Students were also asked to report on what they felt caused them stress, anxiety, or worry in their day-to-day lives. The percentages shown here are students who reported high to extreme levels of stress. Overall, students perceive academics as causing them the highest levels of stress.
The partnership does more than work to simply reduce risk. We also work to build developmental assets. The Search Institute has identified 40 positive supports and strengths that young people need to succeed, known as developmental assets. Half of the assets focus on the supports, relationships, and opportunities youth need in their families, schools, and communities, which are external assets.
The remaining assets focus on the social emotional strengths, values, and commitments that are nurtured within young people, which are the internal assets. On one level, the 40 developmental assets represent common wisdom about the kinds of positive supports and strengths young people need. Extensive research reveals that assets can have a powerful influence on youth behavior. And building assets is easy, and most likely you already do it. It's saying hello to a student by their name, asking what was the best part of their day, and encouraging students to voice their opinions. Adults may not realize how important they can be in the lives of young people. The truth is that most young people are transformed by the seemingly small things adults do each day. These efforts may appear to be no big deal, but small actions and simple words have a tremendous payoff. Prevention science makes it clear that if we want to prevent a problem before it happens, we need to continually address and reduce risk factors while increasing protective factors. This is not one and done work. We can save lives and money only if we continue to invest in evidence-based prevention.
Youth with higher levels of developmental assets are more likely to thrive now and in the future, less likely to engage in a wide range of risk-taking behaviors such as substance abuse, violence, and antisocial behavior, and more likely to be resilient when faced with challenges. As illustrated here, the average number of risk-taking behaviors reported among Stratford teens in 2018 is inversely correlated to their reported number of assets.
This pie chart shows that 48% of Stratford youth report having 11 to 20 assets, followed by 35% reporting 21 to 30 assets. It's important to note that assets matter for young people from all backgrounds, regardless of gender, ethnic or cultural heritage, economic situation, sexual orientation, or geographic location. These assets both promote positive behaviors and attitudes and help protect young people from many problem behaviors.
In 2015, the Stratford Partnership formed a committee to implement strategies to address 5 priority assets to intentionally build assets in our youth. One of their most significant accomplishments is establishing asset-building classrooms, also known as ABC. Teams of students are trained each spring as asset ambassadors along with teacher advisors at each building, to plan and conduct activities that promote the 5 key assets.
To recap, there is lots of good news to share. In 2018, 23% of high school students reported using an e-cig to vape nicotine, and 12% reported vaping THC or marijuana. Youth believe that vaping is safe. We are working with the schools to make students aware that the long-term effects are unknown, essentially making our generation the guinea pigs.
As more states legalize marijuana for adult social use, youth increasingly believe that it must be safe for them as well. However, the introduction of a mind-altering substance such as marijuana to the developing adolescent brain is never safe. 90% of addictions start in the teen years. Additionally, 1 in 5 high school students agreed that it is okay to drive if you've smoked marijuana.
More Americans now die every year from drug overdoses than they do in motor vehicle crashes. In 2017, 14 Stratford adults died from an overdose. The severe and lethal consequences of opioid abuse disorders compel us to action. Stratford residents are encouraged to properly dispose of medication at the medication drop box at the Stratford Police Department, which typically collects over 1,000 pounds each year. Free overdose prevention and Narcan administration workshops are offered, and CARE's Hope and Support Group for those with a loved one struggling with substance abuse disorder meets every Monday at the Stratford United Methodist Church.
The partnership co-sponsors mental health first aid courses so residents can learn how to identify, understand, and respond to signs of mental illnesses and substance use disorders.
The school assets team will build on their asset building work in the district and in the schools. For more information and the complete results from the Search Institute student survey, please visit our website. Be a prevention partner.